Okay, we're leaving the office to go on an alternative sightseeing trip round London. I'm about to leave Greater London House. That's the big Art Deco building across from Mornington Crescent Tube Station. It's the one with the big black cats outside the front entrance. It was originally the home of the Black Cat cigarette factory before it was converted into offices in 1961. Our first stop is going to be Greater London House. Now we're just off Tottenham Court Road on Store Street. This is the NLA, that stands for New London Architecture. It's open to the public and has a scale model of central London, which shows the current and proposed building projects across the capital. Future projects are indicated by the white buildings. It's a really great place to orient yourself with London and take a look at the areas that you know on the ground from an entirely different perspective. And here we are back at Greater London House. From Canary Wharf to the new Olympic Stadium. It's also a great opportunity to own a famous part of London. Just down from Lancaster Gate Tube Station and inside Hyde Park is this hidden example of eccentricity. It's not open to the public, but you can take a peek through the railings. With over 300 little graves, complete with miniature gravestones, this is the final resting place for some of society's upper class dogs. Burials took place in the Victorian period and the cemetery was closed in 1915. We're now outside London Bridge Station. Just down this railway arch here is the entrance to one of my favourite venues in London, and what seems like another world. The interior is musty and damp, water drips down from the train lines above. No attempt has been made to sanitise this space. It's as it should be. From an unassuming door, you walk down a dimly lit labyrinth of corridors that open out into huge inner chambers. The space is run by performance collective Shunt. Anywhere, including the theatre, is fair game for weird and wonderful, thought-provoking performance art. Like this hair salon just above the bar. It's also a gallery space where quirky ideas are brought to life, like thousands of origami birds in a white room, a stack of old tellies in a chill-out room. The outside world is placed in suspended animation, at least for a while, until you come to exit from a small door which is situated inside London Bridge Station, just next to the busy commuter ticket hall and turnstiles. Shunt Vaults is a truly unique experience and well worth a visit. Do it soon though, because it's sadly due to close in June. We're now in Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf takes its name from the only surviving dock following the carpet bombing of the Second World War. The dock was originally used for fruit trade with the Canary Islands. On this roundabout, just beyond Canary Wharf Estate, there are 3 trees, 2 are real and the third is the traffic light tree. It was created by French artist Pierre Vivant and finished in 1998. The arbitrary cycle of light changes are not supposed to mimic the seasonal rhythm of nature, but the restlessness of Canary Wharf itself. We're on the corner of Strand and Charing Cross Road, close to Nelson's Column and the statue of Charles I. Next time you see motorway signage which tells you how far you are from London, remember it's measured from this point here. There's a plaque on the floor to confirm this. That's the headquarters of MI6, and we're on the left of Vauxhall Bridge. If you peer over the side just here, you can see something that you'd only usually be able to see by riverboat or from the bank. There's a miniature bronze sculpture of St Paul's Cathedral. It's in the hand of one of 4 enormous bronze female figures created by Frederick William Pomeroy to commemorate the best in British architecture, dating 1907. Just across the Euston Road from Euston Square Tube is the Wellcome Trust. It's the world's largest medical research charity, funding research into human and animal health. Just here above the entrance, easily missable and fairly badly mounted, with lots of horrible reflections, is the only mural done in the UK by Picasso. Picasso drew the mural on the wall of Bernal's sitting room at a party. Crazy! Eventually the mural was saved from Bernal's flat, which was due to be demolished and is now on permanent display here. There's also a Gormley, some scary saws, some masks, a wafer-thin body slice, a fatty, and Darwin's walking stick. We're now walking down the Old Kent Road in Bermondsey, about half a mile away from Tower Bridge. This next spot is one of my favourite stories. 10 years ago, property developer Russell Gray bought a small plot of land and intended to build flats, but his planning permission was refused by the council. He furiously put in planning permission for a tank. The council, thinking he meant septic tank, granted permission. However, he installed a Soviet T-34 tank from the Cold War. The tank was originally painted pink, but it's now covered in this beautiful graffiti. The gun is pointing at the council offices where planning permission was refused in the first place. We're now on the South Bank. In the early part of the 20th century, London was a straight-laced place. Advertising was considered rather vulgar, to the extent that it was banned on the sides of buildings. However, the Oxo Tower became a classic example of an advertising loophole. They originally planned to have a huge sign with the company name spelled out in electric lights. This was refused, so they constructed a tower with the letters Oxo built into the very structure. The 3 giant letters, which are in fact vast windows filled with red glass, could no longer be classified as an advert. Back in Camden now, outside the Windsor Castle. And another castle, the Pembroke Castle, also in Camden. Right. Another castle in Camden, the Dublin Castle. And the last of the castles, the Edinburgh Castle. Now the Camden Castles were situated apart from each other deliberately. The Windsor Castle for the English, the Pembroke Castle for the Welsh, the Dublin Castle for the Irish, and the Edinburgh Castle for the Scottish. This was to keep the navvies, the construction workers of the rail network, away from each other in the evening, as they were prone to factionalism and fighting. And here we are, inside the Edinburgh Castle. One for the ditch. Right, back to work.